Hey crew members, welcome to the third episode of my podcast, Gacha Racing. Alrighty, so today I think I'm going to cover why Kyle Busch is not winning, my thoughts on Daytona Road Course, my thoughts on doubleheaders, and my thoughts on the Bristol All-Star Race, even though that happened forever ago. So yeah, let's get it started. So, let's first talk about the Bristol All-Star Race, because that was forever ago, and I probably should have made this podcast forever ago. I don't know. But, yeah, I thought the idea of the lights underneath the car, the shoes cone rule, which actually was probably the only thing that actually played out perfectly, and the race at Bristol was really good. Bristol didn't have as much Bristol to it as it normally does, and then also that last 15 lap stage was just weird at Bristol. The lights underneath the cars, it didn't look good on the concrete, and it could have been all underneath the car and actually matched up with the paint scheme, because that's what Kurt Busch did for the burnout at Boulevard. I can't talk today. Burnout at the Boulevard. There we go. Gotta sound it out. And I thought that looked pretty cool. Kyle Larson also had one. It was blue. It also looked really cool. But then the NASCAR is just like, no. How's about you match it up with your manufacturer type thing? So, and then the only color that actually matched the manufacturer was Ford with the blue. Mostly, and like Chevy didn't even get yellow; they got amber, and Toyota got red. I mean, I don't know what signifies Toyota as a color red, and why Chevy wasn't yellow, but and the cars didn't even like the amber and the red. Not only looked the same, but it didn't like none of the colors looked really good on the cars. The blue light was the only one that looked good, but on some like it just didn't look good. I was gonna say on Kurt Busch's car, but then I realized he was a Chevy. But it still didn't look good because the yellow on the black car did not look good. If it's Monster Energy we're talking about, we gotta have green underneath the car. Because a black light would just make anything that looks white look purple. Black light's weird. It's really cool though. Like especially when you walk in and like you look down at your socks and they're glowing and you're like, ah cool, look at that. I'm glowing socks. So, yeah, I guess that probably would be cool if, like, they just turned off the lights and the light was actually all underneath of the car. I don't know if I ranted about that yet, but it also just looks weird at the back end of the car. And the burnouts, like, I was expecting Chase Elliott's burnout to, like, look amber. I was going to say orange, but the proper term is amber. It doesn't even look like amber. And it wasn't. It was just white smoke with a little orange glow somewhere. I'm like, I thought like all the smoke would look orange, but I think you're gonna have to like have lights underneath the entire car for that. But like, fine, whatever. The choose cone rule that played out perfectly. You didn't have people stopping on pit road weirdly to be like, oh, haha, by the way, I want this position, but I'm gonna have to, like, brake, and then you didn't get the position, and they're like, oh my gosh, and and it was just stupid. I would love to see choose cone rule, or the choose lane rule, because we didn't use a cone, in 2021. I thought it was a perfect idea. I don't think there's any choose lane penalties, so that's good. Drivers easily understand it. It's probably one of the easiest things to understand in NASCAR, even though it was only for one race. So, yeah, I'm all up for that. The All-Star race at Bristol, I think I've said this before, it wasn't as Bristol as... It wasn't Bristol-like. Bristol wasn't being Bristol, if you know what I'm saying. Like, there was somewhat close bumper racing, but it wasn't really, like... There was probably only a couple spins, which for Bristol is weird, because, like, if you don't see a car up in the fence and barely anything on it except the steering wheel and the seat, then, like, is it Bristol? Is it Bristol, baby? That's a quote from Dale Earnhardt Jr., except the question. It's just Bristol, baby. Anywho, and I think that's enough about that. Oh, and it didn't feel like it was a practice for Bristol. Because the All-Star race before it was moved to Bristol, like, it just seemed like it was a practice for the Coke 600. Like, what? Why? It just felt like a practice that had some cool thing to it sometimes. So I'm glad that they did not do that. They didn't race at Bristol the next race. Speaking of somewhat semi-boring race, actually it wasn't really that boring. New Hampshire. Now, that race was pretty good. Except the fact that Matt Kenseth kept spitting out every 2 laps, and it was just like, caution, let me guess, Matt Kenseth? Matt Kenseth. Wow, look at me, it's basically Scooby-Doo, you know? You guess caution, let me guess. It's a fake ghost. Oh wow, the ghost is fake. Wow. So he's just finally like, guys, there's something broken. Just stop changing tires. I'm gonna go into the garage. Excuse me. Not happy that Kyle Busch wrecked on the first lap and got last, because that's not very Kyle Busch. Which is a perfect segue into why Kyle Busch is having bad luck. I still feel like I had something to say about New Hampshire. I think I said everything that I wanted to say about New Hampshire. I was mostly playing Tetris 99 with one of my friends. So yeah. But yeah, that was alright. So yes, segue into Kyle Busch's bad luck. I could have started it when I had that perfect segue. Well, let's just say Kyle Busch has won 500 million losing races. He has not won a single race, which is probably going to turn tons of heads. Like, if you haven't been paying attention lately, you're just like, hold up, isn't Kyle Busch supposed to be kicking butt and taking names? Yes, that is literally yes, that's what Kyle Busch does. And I'm going to try to keep this brief because I am a Kyle Busch fan. I'm trying not to show that, so it doesn't seem like I'm just talking about him. But like, you could make the excuse, yeah, it's 2020, blah blah blah, whatever. I'm going to give you 2 theories. One's not very likely, and the other one probably is likely. The first one, we're still running the 2019 rules package. And if you remember last season, it wasn't really Kyle Busch's season. I know, some of you are like, oh, wait, what? Kyle Busch won the championship. That was his year. And what I have to say to that is, no, it was not. I don't think he won like probably 1 or 2 playoff races. He did really well preseason, but it wasn't like kick butt and take names wins. And in fact, I have his 2019 stats right here. 36 starts, only 5 wins, which was way less than the 2018 season, I believe. He had 17 top 5s, 27 top 10s, and that was about enough to keep him in the playoffs until the Final Four. And really, the only reason why he won the playoffs was the Kyle Busch won the playoffs because, like, if it wasn't for Denny Hamlin's crew putting on an entire the tape the size of the grill on the car, which, like, even as they're putting it on, I'm just like, why? Well, I could probably tape my computer to that, and I'll probably still stick, or like my computer to the wall with that much duct tape, and I'll stick. And so if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have a framed picture that we got for Christmas of Kyle Busch holding his championship trophy. If it wasn't for Martin Truex Jr. Or Martin Truex Jr.'s crew putting the right side tires on the left and left side tires on the right, which I didn't even know that was possible until I realized, yeah, the tires do have different air pressure. We wouldn't be having these really cool diecasts of Kyle Busch's championship car in a case that makes it look even cooler. If it wasn't for Kevin Harvick not having a long run car, which, like, seriously, dude, what? There's like no wrecks at Homestead. You should have a long run car. Kyle Busch wouldn't have won the championship. And as a fan, I really hate to admit it that we got it by luck. But it was kind of sort of like the Joey Logano thing. Kyle Busch really wasn't the flamethrower of the year. I seriously thought that Denny Hamlin was going to win that one. But remember the gorilla incident? So yeah, that happened. But yeah, I didn't think that Kyle Busch was going to win the championship that year. But, you know, here we are. Me wanting to wear a Kyle Busch championship shirt today, but it's in the wash, so I can't wear it. It's kind of sort of like Joe Logano's 2018 championship. Like, you thought one of the big three would win it, and then he just won it. So, yeah, where was I going with this? Oh, yeah, the 2019 package. Wasn't really his year. But they are also racing the 2017-2018 package at some tracks. So it's not a full 2019 package. I don't remember what kind of tracks they're racing the 2019 rules package on, but I do know they are, so that's a less likely theory, because you'd think the 17 and 18 package he would be doing way better on, but he's not. And so the second theory, actually a third one if you count It's 2020 as an excuse, but I don't. So the second theory, I mean, I do count It's 2020 for everything else, but like if other drivers are winning, then 2020 is not an excuse. The second theory is that he isn't getting practice or qualifying, which makes perfect sense because he really likes to work on his car. I don't think he can. I think there are rules that drivers can't work on the cars anymore. I could be wrong about that, though. Don't quote me on that. Please, someone search it up and send a link in the comments down below. Please, please, please. So, yeah, I think it is because of that. Because he does, like, talk with his crew, like, oh, yeah, I think if he just did this thing, my car could do this and this and this. And the crew's like, yeah, okay, instead of, the driver going like, hey, crew chief, fix this. And the crew chief's like, yeah, okay. Kyle Busch actually, like, shows, like, hey, I think if you twisted that thing to the left, my car would be slightly better. If you did this and this and this, like, he's really, like, if they let him, he'd probably work on his car. I think as a team owner, he can actually work on his truck, and I think he does do that. So yeah, he isn't really working on his car. Or not working on his car. There's just no practice to get his car just right, so that probably does not help at all. And so yeah, I think I'm gonna go into the NASCAR announces final installment of 2020 schedule. I mean, I guess if I did mention that. Dang, that's a lot of races. How about I just put this in the link in the link in the description down below. Feel free to check that out. I'm currently saving that to my notes as we speak, or as I speak. I should have hit create note. So yeah, let's go with the double headers. We're gonna have two. We're gonna have Michigan, the two races at Michigan this weekend. And then we're gonna have the Daytona Road Course. Then we're gonna have the the Dover doubleheader next. Yes, the Doble doubleheader. The Doble's my favorite track. So yeah, my opinion on the doubleheader, the one at Pocono was like, I was really hyped up for it. I really thought it would be extremely cool, but then it wasn't, and I was really disappointed and kind of glad that I didn't go, because I did plan on going, but then 2020 hit, so it's just like, oh, phew, thank you very much. I don't have to go, because it sucked. I didn't even know that it would suck, but it did. So, I think it sucked because the first race, they were just trying to conserve the cars, make sure they didn't get any damage or anything, which makes it a boring race because no one has, like, close contact or anything. So that really didn't help. No one, like, there's probably a few spins. The second race was slightly better, but, And then it was also, like, shorter, which I guess as a new fan that probably would be better because you can actually pay attention. And I plan on making a video about what I think would be the best series to start out as a new fan. But yeah, the shorter races are probably better for the new fans. But, like, I just seriously looked down at my, like, YouTube statistics, looked back up, and stage 2 was already over. I'm like, wait. How did I miss 2 stages? What? It was just extremely short, which I guess there really isn't a problem with that, but I'm used to extremely long NASCAR races. So, I don't know how the Michigan one's gonna go. Hopefully it's better. There are cars, I saw in the paint scheme preview, that there are gonna be, that some drivers do have, like, different paint schemes. Like Ryan Newman, for instance, he's driving Coca-Cola on Saturday, and then Castrol on Sunday. So maybe that means he has 2 cars. Ooh, Chase is going to be racing Auto Parts on Saturday and Mountain Dew on Sunday. That Mountain Dew car looks really good. So, like, maybe they have 2 different cars, which I definitely suggest for a doubleheader, because it's just like, you wreck one car, that's okay, my crew doesn't have to fix it, we have another car for tomorrow, bada boom, bada bang, that's it. Yeah, Ricky Styles Jr. the only change is the spotter, or there's the sponsors on the rear quarter panel. That's funny. So yeah, I suggest that they do, if, like, for 2021, if they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna have double headers, definitely do that for a double header. Definitely make sure they have more than one car. So that way it's slightly more interesting. Now, I guess I'll go over the Daytona Road Course. I'm actually pretty excited about that. I'm looking at the paint schemes. The only one they have for the trucks is the number 8 for John Hunter Nemechek. That's funny. Anywho, I am actually pretty excited for the Daytona Road Course. When I first heard that it would be for the Clash, for whatever reason, I was just like, no, they're changing the old ways. I was like one of those fans that are just like, back in my day of racing, everything was cool, and then now they have, like, safety things, and now the cars aren't even they're stock anymore. They're just fake. And like, okay, fine, well, whatever. Safety reasons, people. That's why the cars change. But then it kind of sort of started growing on me, and then, like, 2020 hit, and, like, I was basically just like, yeah, okay, any strange thing makes sense. Doubleheader, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, they're already doing it, but the choose cone rule, moving the All-Star race to Bristol, choose cone rule, to lights underneath the car, yeah, that seems normal, although from the beginning I thought choose cones and the lights were going to be awesome. The light sucks. Choose cone was really cool though. Is it funny that I like the stupid orange box on the track that tells you, or that you suggest which way you go, better than cool fancy lights underneath the car? That probably took more effort than to paint a square. Nah, I'm not insane. I'm sane. I'm not insane. I'm on sane. How funny am I? But yeah. So, like, Daytona, so when they're like, yeah, we're not racing at Watkins Glen, because excuse me, they want us to quarantine for 2 weeks, and we're not making this season any longer because the Cup Series schedule is already long, and the people have places to go, this, that, blah, blah, blah. We're going to get to the Daytona Road Course. And I was like, sure, why not? Like, I wasn't even like, wait, what? I'm just like, fine, cool, that makes sense. I mean, like, we're going to miss Watkins Glen this year, but I mean, like, I guess we'll get to see how the Daytona Road Course will work. And I have raced it in Gran Turismo 6 before, and I suck at it. So don't take this to heart. But whoo boy, the sharp turns, going really fast, and having to make the turn for the chicane on the backstretch. That's one of them. The front, just getting to the front stretch road course, or the front stretch, the road course part after the start finish line. That, like, even that's hard, that weird fish tail looking thing, the whale. I'm gonna call it the whale because it looks like a whale. Even getting to that's like pretty hard. And you have turns 1 and 2, NASCAR 1 and 2 to start going really fast on. Then you got like most of the backstretch, and next thing you know, there's just this chicane that unless you like, if you don't want to slow down, then you just use the grass. But even then, you have to slow down on the grass. I don't know if they're gonna have restrictor plates or not. But that if they don't, then yeah, expect some really fast racing. And they did add a chicane on the front stretch, which I was just like a little skeptical on. I was just like, but the Daytona Road Course, it's like I've seen 24 hours of Daytona. Well, not all of it. I fell asleep. And then I woke up at like 4. And just like, I missed. Or no, like I think I went to bed at 4, or I fell asleep at 4, and I wake up. I'm just like. And I see the sun, I'm like, oh, I missed it. Oh well. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And then, like, you just had this chicane, like the Charlotte Roval, which basically looks like Daytona Road Course. And it's like, but I think their reason was they're trying to slow the cars down, which makes sense because yet again, you probably don't want 200 miles per hour. Next thing you know, you have to make the whale turn. And you know how that is on the Charlotte Roval, just during the restarts. Chase Elliott's good proof of that. I'm trying to speak the English, but I can't find the words. As he ran into the wall, but he somehow won the race. I don't know how, but that was pretty cool. So yeah, I was like, okay. And they actually added it onto iRacing with the new chicane too. Or the new chicane, they added that to the iRacing. So we're gonna have to see how that works. I question though if IMSA is gonna start running the new chicane, because I think those guys actually do go, or at least the prototypes go faster than the I don't know what they're called. The ones that roll. Okay, so there's like 4 or 5 different things. One of them looks like new super fast cars. Have you ever seen the movie Cars 2? Yeah, I know it sucks. Think of Shu Todoroki, the Japanese car. That's what a prototype looks like. And then if you're still in the Cars 2 mindset, think of Jeff Gorvet, Max Chanel, Miguel. I can't see his last name from here. I have a poster. And like Lewis Hamilton. Those guys, and Nigel Gearsley. Those guys are like the cars that look more real than the prototype. Like they look like actual cars than the prototypes, but like not really. They're like the sports cars. They do have Lamborghinis in there that look like actual Lamborghinis. Just explaining IMSA cars are really hard. Just go watch an IMSA race. Seriously, just I don't know when the next IMSA race is. Just go look for it. It's somewhere. But yeah, so I'm wondering if those guys are going to run on the new chicane or not. They at least prototypes go faster than the stock cars, but So yeah, I'm excited for the Daytona Road Course. Ooh, we're bouncing all over the place here. But Cars 2 reminded me of something. You know how all the cars are from different series and they're all racing? And same with IMSA. And I was actually thinking more of IMSA and Cars 2. But IMSA actually has like all their series racing in one. I was thinking, what if we had an all-star race? I don't care where it is. But what if we had an all-star race? With you can even add ARCA if you feel like it. But the Truck, Xfinity, and Cup cars. But, let's see here, it's 40 divided by 3. Hold on, let me get my calculator real quick, because I'm too lazy to do some maths. 40 divided by 3. That's like 13.3333. So, and I think most tracks can hold up to 43 cars. So you can just add like 13 cars from each series. 13 plus 13 plus 13. To get like a 39 car field. Oh, okay. So how about we do 12? And 12 times 3, that's 36, which is slightly less. But yeah, you can have like 12 cars or 12 vehicles from each of the series. And you can race them. You got 12 Cup cars, 12 Xfinity cars, and 12 trucks. I think that's gonna look really cool as an all-star race. So NASCAR, if you're listening, please make that a possibility. Pretty please. Because I think that would look cool. That would probably be really cool for the fans. So yeah, that's my take on that. Yes, the Big 30. This just came back to my mind. I think the Big 3 is way over. Oh, it was over. It was cool in 2018. With Kyle, Kevin, and Truex, and you got me, aka Joey Logano. But that definitely didn't work out like we thought. We thought like one of the Big 3 would be like, oh yeah, we're gonna win a championship, but it turns out Logano won a championship, which yeah. Speaking from the future, it was pretty cool, but I was mad at the time. Like, why didn't one of the Big 3 win? Like, I wasn't even angry that Kyle Busch didn't win. The championship, I was just like, why didn't none of the Big 3 win? Because they were like kicking butt and taking names. And then in 2019, they used it for the Xfinity Series, and I think they tried to use it for the Cup Series slightly, but it never really caught on. And here we are, 2020, and people are like, after Brad Keselowski's win at New Hampshire, everyone's just like, oh yeah, Big 3, Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, and Brad Keselowski. I'm like, no, shut up. It's a dead meme. I thought it was good. 2018. That makes sense. They moved it back down to Xfinity Series. I really don't watch much of Xfinity Series. The secondary series that I watch would be the Truck. Watch time, it goes Cup, Truck, and then Xfinity. I really only watch Xfinity if they're at a cool road course or something. Like Road America, which is this weekend. But I was just like, okay, fine, whatever. And then, now they're bringing it back up to the Cup Series to explain Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, and Brad Keselowski. I'm like, yeah, one of those aren't even that dominant. And also, I'm tired of hearing the Big 3, the Big 3, the Big 3. I seriously think if you are going to have a Big 3, it would just be the Big 2. It would be Denny Hamlin and, Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick. I don't know why I was blanking out there for a second. I kept thinking Brad Keselowski. I'm like, no, not Brad Keselowski. Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick. I think those two are the best drivers at the time. Brad Keselowski is probably like the second best at the time. But if you think, or if you ask me, I think in my opinion, the top 4 on Homestead is going to be Denny, Kevin, Brad, and I'd have to see who else. I'm going to say Joe Logano. I could be wrong, though. I don't know who's in the current point standings. But yeah, I don't think Kyle Busch is getting in. Yeah, you have Kevin, Brad, Denny, and Ryan Blaney right now in the top 4 in driver points. And in playoff points, it's Denny, Harvick. Yeah, as I said, Denny, Kevin, Brad, and Logano. I feel like those 4 are definitely going to stay there. and those guys are going to be competitive for the championship. But I don't think Brad and Logano are going to win a championship. I think it's going to be Denny or Harvick who is going to be there. And so, like, unless anyone who is close to the cutoff line, Matt DiBenedetto, probably not. William Byron, probably not. Clint Boyer, oh, heck no, probably not Clint Boyer. Kyle Busch, maybe. Kurt Busch, and Eric Almirola, Cole Custer, I'm questioning. Probably not Austin Dillon. Maybe Alex Bowman. Martin Truex could shake it up. Ryan Blaney could shake it up. He's been doing pretty well this season. Chase Elliott could shake it up. Besides then, anyone from, like, Alex Bowman, who is currently 8th, Beck, are, like, I really don't feel like they're probably going to shake it up much. Because right now, if the playoffs started right this instant, it is, like, a pretty weird playoff thing. Like, Jimmy Johnson's currently out. You don't have the big drivers, like maybe Matt Kenseth. You might have thought that he would have been in there, but he didn't really start like everyone else. He's currently 28th in points. Maybe Ryan Newman could have gotten in there. I don't know. But I think there are some pretty big names, I could be wrong though, who are out. But yeah, no big three. Please stop that. And if you bring that into 2021, I'm going to be severely disappointed in you. Also, I hope they don't delay the 2022 car, because it used to be a 2021 car, now it's a 2022 car. I certainly hope they don't delay that back, because I was really excited for 2021. And then this thing hit, they're like, yeah, we're moving it to 2022. I'm like, oh, fine. Because just from the prototypes that I've seen, they look like real cars. Like, if they took the spoiler off, I would have been like, oh yeah, that's a legit car that's going really fast for some reason. And I was actually kind of sort of excited to see the one lug tires actually be in use. Excuse me, my voice is dying now. So yeah, I actually thought that once I warmed up to the one lug tires, I was actually somewhat disappointed in that. I was like, oh, no. But then I started warming up to it, and I was like, yeah, you know what, it'll work. I mean, fans don't get lug nuts anymore, which is disappointing, but I think it's going to make pit stops really fast and really cool. And you won't see your favorite driver go a lap down because of because pit road took too long, because it's just going to be like, that's another thing I think I'm going to miss. And then the car squeals off. It's probably going to miss that too. Instead, it's going to be a and what else I was looking for in 2021 is the new tracks. Like, there was, like, some, hey, we might do some street courses, or, hey, this could be here, blah, blah, blah. And NASCAR fans are just literally sitting on the edge of their seats, waiting for NASCAR to be like, oh, haha, by the way, here's the 2021 schedule. But, like, when there's still, they just released the new 2020 schedule today. As I said, I think the link is going to be in the description down below. If it is not, please feel free to yell at me in the comments, because I'll listen to you, probably. No, I will. Don't worry. But yeah, they just released the rest of the NASCAR schedule. Let's see if it's in my notifications. Yes. At 11:05, the time is currently 12:41 on Thursday, August 6th, when I'm recording this. So yeah, they just released the rest of the 2020 schedule. I am pretty sure that they will give us the 2021 schedule. Let's see here, if it's August 6th, maybe if we're lucky at the end of August. If not, then probably early or mid-September. So yeah, feel free, I'll be on the lookout for that, but why do you say it's going to be raining? There is no rain. Sorry, I was looking at the weather feature on my tablet, and looking outside, there's, like, no clouds. But yeah, I seriously think that we will get the 2021 schedule, maybe at the end of August if we're lucky, sometime mid-September would probably be more ideal, because they yet again, August 6th, they literally just came out with the rest of the 2020 schedule. But But yeah, I'm excited to see what's in store for the 2021 schedule. I'm also hoping that we will get to see Chicagoland, because if you'll watch Gacha Racing Episode 2, feel free to do that. You have to actually watch Gacha Racing Episode 1, though, because I didn't use any talking yet. My voice wasn't on YouTube yet. But you could probably just listen to the second one like you probably are right now. Like, I was like pretty disappointed to find out that Chicagoland might become the next Amazon store, or the Amazon parking lot, or building or something. There were some things that did say that, yeah, it's not going to be there, it's going to be on the parking lot, because, stuff and things. But, like, I'm still like, come on, Chicagoland, stay open. I guess we will find out if NASCAR will be coming back 2021. I've not heard any Chicagoland news since Gacha Racing Episode 2, and that was Darlington. Yes, that was the NASCAR race back at Darlington. Because I remember I titled it, We're Back. Because A, the podcast was back, and B, so was NASCAR. So yeah, it was way back a couple months ago. I still haven't heard anything about that since. And no one really talks about it much. So hopefully Chicagoland will be in the 2021 schedule. I will definitely inform you guys if there is anything new on that. But yeah, I'm excited to see 2021 schedule. 2020 schedule did just come out yet again. Link in the description. If not, yell at me. Thank you. If you're yelling at me right now because I forgot, thank you so much. I'm glad that you are that you are yelling at me, or even listen to it this far. Yeah. I can't really think of anything else of NASCAR to talk about. I have been going off for 37 minutes, which is pretty long in my standards. Mostly because usually NASCAR and lines are like 30 minutes. So yeah. I'll hopefully be, if you guys didn't know this, I think the picture I am going to have is going to be like, hey, you can just listen to this. But I think I'm going to move to the actual podcast theme now. I'm hoping to get some, I think I have 2 people in mind who I think would be really good guest hosts. They're not really guests. But 2 of my friends, which I think would probably love to be hosts, along with me, so it's not just me jabbering. And it could have more of a podcast feel. But yeah, I think I've decided to move to this instead of the animated podcast, because that's a heck ton of work. If you guys did like my extreme stats in Gacha Racing Episode 2, let me know. If you just want more podcasts, seriously, subscribe to the channel, ding-a-ling that notification bell, this and that, blah blah blah, like, share. Thank you for actually listening to this far. I believe that's going to be all in current NASCAR news and my opinions on things. So yeah, see y'all later, and race on.